So exciting news is Mercury retrograde ended yesterday. Woo! So no more techno. Well, you might have a little bit for the next week, but most technical issues, traffic issues, car accidents, miscommunications are probably done for now or dwindling down. They'll be officially out of our energy aura probably at the end of the week. Some astrologers believe that there's a shadow period that lasts 2 weeks. I feel like personally I noticed it for about a week after. So it's still a good time to take your time when signing contracts, making agreements. What I feel like is a good idea anyways, but it's just especially important during Mercury retrograde. And that energy of the discombobulation is fading out, but the energy of taking your time for commitment is getting stronger because we have a Taurus new moon on the 19th. Venus just entered Cancer, and Jupiter is moving into Taurus. So what does that mean? This is a beautiful time to take slow, steady, and stable footsteps towards something that you want to nurture. Something that you want to nurture. When Taurus season comes around, people notice they might be spending more money, having more sex, eating more food, because Taurus has that kind of energy. It's very sensual and like luxurious and abundant, and it can be a little overindulgent at times. And what the current astrology is asking is, yeah, you can like do all those things if you want, but ask yourself this question of like, when is it ever going to be enough? Does that make sense? So everyone's version of an ideal life is going to look different, and that's okay. But we want to make sure that whatever it is we're doing is sustainable for the long term. And I think that you can totally have whatever you want in a sustainable way, but we want to check ourselves and say, okay, what are the day-to-day actions that I'm taking? It's giving compound effect energy, right? What are the day-to-day actions that I'm taking to align with what I desire? And remembering that it is those small changes consistently over time that create what it is that we desire. Because there might be a temptation that you might have around wanting to take the quick fix. I know Ange made a great post today about like, it's maybe you don't need to do beach body or like Ozempic. Maybe you need to just like change your relationship with food. And I love that. That is totally in alignment with the current astrology of like, okay, maybe you don't need to buy thousands of Instagram followers for your business. Maybe you need to learn how to grow a font, or maybe you don't need to break up with your boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or whoever right away. Maybe you need to go to couples counseling, right? And it's this energy around wherever I go, there I am. Wherever you go, there you are. And I all about the little things in life. Like I got a little matcha from Starbucks before this because I was really excited about it. Like I'm not saying that you can't have the matcha, or the cookie or the walk on the beach with your friend or the dance party or the nice new makeup or whatever. Like do it, but again, it's coming back to like checking yourself, making sure it's all like in balance, and that you have gratitude for it. Like I love this $7 matcha. It's giving me so much joy. And I don't feel like the macros are that crazy, and I feel great. I feel so bubbly and happy with my little drink. So it's like having that moment of like whatever it is that you are indulging in, ladies, like stopping and being like, like this is juicy. Like if you're having the cake, eat the cake. Don't scarf it down because you're guilt jealous. Don't scarf it down. Some of you might be jealous, but don't scarf it down because you're feeling guilty and it's bad. Like, eat the freaking cake. Eat it at the dining room table where everybody can see you, or at your work desk, or outside in public where it's like, oh, people are seeing you eat the cake. And then like take your time, eat each bite, and enjoy it. Yeah, and I just want to say one more thing as somebody who has Venus in Cancer in my natal chart. So for those of you who have this placement, it's already special. Like you might be heightened. Is like this is a very nurturing, gooey energy. Like there's a gooiness, especially around family in the home. So you might be noticing yourself feeling a little more introverted, except for your best, like your 4 best friends or your 3 best friends, like your favorite coworker and your family. And that's fine. It's because our values are shifting. So instead of it just being like, oh, like it's lonely at the top, like that mentality, like alpha females don't have friends. I don't know if anybody's seen any of this content out there, but I've seen some crazy content on social media where it's like alpha females don't travel in packs and da da da. And I'm like, that is so lame. Like, why would I not want to have friends? Like, I get like not having a bunch of fake friends and having healthy relationships, but I never resonated with that, right? And so this is the energy of like of warmth and just coming back to what really matters in your heart, which is what we're going to be doing today in our meditation. And that being said, so Jupiter being in Taurus is going to be, this is going to be an abundant time period around like, what is it that you want to like plant roots for and like kind of honing in your focus and defending that. So like, let's say that you want to start a business and you're, let's say social media management and you're charging like $50 an hour and somebody's like, oh, would you do 20? No, don't, you know, unless you're literally donating a service for a cause you care about, hone your prices and be like, this is what it's worth. This is what I'm valued at, and be okay with people saying no. If you're looking for a new job and they want to welcome you in and pay you like 5, 10, 20 grand less than your current job or than you're asking for. I mean, of course, if you're in a situation where you're in dire need, like don't allow yourself to be homeless, but at the same time, like remember you have options. And yeah, like I was listening to an astrologer this morning and it was so cool. She was talking about my astrologer, how like it's kind of like Shark Tank, where it's like when you're confident in like your pitch, you know, you're confident in like this is what I'm valued at, or this is what this is valued at, then everybody would kind of like shift. Same thing with your relationships, you know, like if you're in a healthy relationship overall, but you and your partner are going through a rough patch, or there's like dissonance or something, or dating or whatever, and they're like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Like if you know in your heart that it's gonna work out, hold the vision. Right? So as feminine beings, we hold the vision for what's possible. We have this something called an oracle inside of us. So there's many different archetypes of the divine feminine, and one of them is called the oracle. And she's basically like the psychic or the wise woman that we all have. Every single person that was born in a female body has this. And it's our intuition. And part of having our oracle is we can see the bigger picture. We can't always get the timeline right because there is no linear time like in the spirit realm. So we might think, okay, I'm going to lose 40 pounds this summer, and you don't, but you will lose the 40 pounds if you believe it and you hold it, right? So it's like coming back to, if your husband or your wife or whoever's trying to get a promotion, let's say somebody you love is trying to get a promotion, hold the vision for them. I was just at a women's group this morning and this girl said, can you hold the vision for me to be a millionaire? It's like, hell yeah, sure. I'll hold that for you. You know, why not? Right? So we can also hold this vision for ourselves, for the world around us, about what's possible. Okay. So, because it is going to be something that, again, it moves a little slower. You're going to see the results a little slower, but pay attention to what's happening. Make sure you're patting yourself on the back and celebrating yourself, because as much as Taurus is about slow moving progress, it's also about sustainable growth. And so, let's say you're trying to lose 40 pounds and it takes you a year, you're probably going to actually keep it off, right? You and your partner go to couples counseling, your chances of staying in a healthy marriage are going to increase, right? You say no to the 5 guys that are in your DMs asking you to go on a date, you meet your soulmate, right? It might take a year or 2 or 5, but you're going to end up with a better result. Okay, so that is the overall my astrology rant. And I'm curious if anybody has any questions. And I do just want to say one more thing, as far as like, is the green flag up for the new job and the contracts and everything? The green flag is back. The light is green. Mercury's not in retrograde anymore, but still take your time and just make sure that it's what you really want. And one last thing I just feel called to share is like, you can always change your mind, you know? So that being said, it's okay to make mistakes. Doesn't matter how old you are, what you're doing. It's okay to be like, you know what? I took that job and I hate it, so I'm looking for something else. And it's okay to say, you know what, we tried couples therapy and it was awful and we need a divorce. Or, you know, I try to set a boundary with Sally and she won't stop, so I'm cutting her off. It's okay to also change your mind. It doesn't mean you're bad or you failed, but you would feel a lot better doing that after you've tried, right? Okay, so before we meditate, I'm curious, does anybody have any questions?
I do. Should we manifest more or less at this time, or
That's a great question. I say manifest. You can manifest as much as you want. I know you asked that because during eclipse season, it's not a good time to manifest, but eclipse season's over. So I think with a new moon, you want to focus on the new. So what are you calling in? A great little ritual you ladies can do for abundance is usually the first of the month or during a new moon, clean your house to the best of your abilities. Then you want to sweep. This is gonna sound a little wild. Sweep out your door. So like open your front door and take a broom and sweep whatever like dirt or even just if there's no dirt, like sweep fake dirt out of your doorway into the wherever is outside of your door. Um, and then take a little bit of cinnamon and stand outside your house with the door open, put it in your hand and blow it into your door. And then you can make something called the simmer pot for abundance. So I can send you ladies like a recipe for that. It's basically, first of all, it makes your house smell so good. I think it comes from like Italian folklore, but I could be 100% wrong about that, so don't quote me. But it comes from like folklore, and I use witchcraft very lightly. Like it's not like you're doing a spell, but it's an abundance ritual to welcome in abundance. And so some things you put in the pot, and I'll send this in a follow-up, is cinnamon, lime juice, orange peels or sliced oranges, mint, I think sage, not like sage that you burn. You can get sage like an herb at the store. Um, and there's something else too that I'm forgetting, so I'll make and patchouli. So that will help welcome in abundance. And I just let it burn like all day. Um, I just want to add, sorry, a part of your cleaning ritual can be smudging your home. So that's with sage or Palo Santo. But I forgot to add that because it's a natural part of my cleaning process now. I don't know if it is like that for you ladies. Like I feel like every time I clean now, I just burn sage, so I'm like used to it. So I forgot to put that in there. But and one last thing, I'm sure you know this, but when you burn sage, open all the windows. Because otherwise you're just like the energy is just gonna keep moving around. Which is like I don't think it's gonna be detrimental. I'm sure you leave so many like crazy energy around you. I don't get that, but it's good to let it out because it's right. So
Does it matter if it's your front door or your back door for
ah,
sweep? Sorry, jumping back.
no, it's a good question. The way that I read about it was your front door. It never mentioned a back door. So I don't know. I would stick with the front door just because
Yeah.
it's what I'm 100% certain about. But I would be curious to know if there's any like rituals you can do with your back door. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question. Yeah, that's a great question. We don't have back doors in California really, so I just have the front door of my apartment. But that's a great question. Um, yeah, and so new moon's all about what. So that being said, it's like, what are you calling in? So like, I would do that first, and then if you're gonna do a ritual or Gwendolyn, like if you have the time, I would do this all first, and then you can even do it a couple days before. It doesn't have to be on the new moon, and then the night of the new moon, I would do the ritual for what you're calling in. I'm sure Ange has some that she could give you. I have some if you're interested. I can give you. There's so many things you can do. But just focus on what you're calling in, and again, going back to like long term, like you could have a like a list of ideas of projects and stuff you want to do, but like pick two that you want to like focus on for the next 3 months. And you can always go back. I think overall you ladies will love this energy. It just takes a second to get used to. It's very feminine. So it's very watery, emotional, sensual. Like it's a great time to exercise. It's a great time to do massages and burn candles and be in like your juicy feminine. You'll notice resistance if you're overworking yourself. So every time you feel this like this, your body's like this, oh, I don't want to do this, slow down because the astrology is asking you to slow down. Um, yeah. And we all know, I mean, like, yeah, we all have deadlines and stuff for work. Like, I get it. I have another job too, but like, we know when we're piling things on, you know, like it's okay to sometimes just do the bare minimum with a positive attitude and do it well. Okay. So enough about me preaching. So do we have any questions really? Nothing else? It's okay if you don't. I'm just curious. Nobody is a Taurus here. We don't have any Tauruses in our program. And to be 100% honest with you, I think I've literally met like 2 that I've become friends with. I don't know. I just never see them around. But I think it's because they're really just grounded, like doing something grounding. Like I feel like they're like gardening or something. Sorry, I just am giggling because there's like a joke in the astrology community that Tauruses love food. So I'm like, they're probably just like cooking, like they're like chefs at your favorite restaurant. Like ask chef at your restaurant what zodiac sign he is, and he's a Taurus, so he's just MIA because he's busy being grounded. All right, so let's do a little meditation here to kind of like connect to like what matters most. And like what that is that we want to take little baby steps towards. And I just want to say, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of messages coming through tonight. At the same time as I'm saying to take slow progress, like don't create a limiting belief either. Does that make sense? So don't be like, oh, it has to happen slow because Jessica said that. Like, I mean, miracles can happen at any moment, you know? So it's okay to hold both like the probability that slow actions over time create results and also the possibility of miracles happening. Okay. Cool. So we just did a lot. So I'm going to hit my chime just to clear up energy. It'll be a little loud, but it's good for you. All right, so we're just going to close our eyes and we're just going to take a deep breath in through the nose, hold at the top. Exhale out through the mouth. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. And just one more time. Deep inhale. And exhale. Just taking a moment, letting go of any stress or tension from the day thus far. And just arriving to this present moment together. And Taurus is very much about the body. Tauruses have a very embodied experience, senses, the lower chakras. So you can take a moment, you can even bring your hands to your heart or to your body, to your arms, to your legs, to your feet. And just take a moment to notice, how does it feel to be in your body tonight? Just doing a body scan here, just noticing any areas of the body where you're feeling extra stress or tension. You can give yourself a little massage or just breathe deeply into those areas if you want. Just giving yourself some self-love here. And just deepening into that sense of awareness and embodiment, you can begin to visualize a warm wave of ultraviolet light starting at the top of your head. And this warm wave, ultraviolet light, releases tension everywhere it travels. As it moves down past your forehead, your eyes, your nose, your lips, pausing at your neck, releasing tension there as it travels down past your upper back body and your heart space, your lower back body and your belly, pausing at your hips, releasing tension there as it travels down past your legs and your feet into the surface below you. And just continuing to deepen your breath, noticing your inhales moving down throughout your nose, throughout your body, into the earth, and your exhales moving up through your spine, out throughout your nose, connecting more closely to the stars. And I invite you to imagine a seed at your heart. You can even bring your hands to your heart if you want, you don't need to. And the seed that you're planting in your heart resembles a garden that you are desiring to grow. A vision that your inner feminine oracle holds for what's possible. And let's pick one area of your life. I know it's hard. The feminine's natural desire is to yearn for more. And yet, honing in with this Taurus energy, it's asking us to ground and to declare and to focus. This could be your health, wellness, romantic relationships, platonic relationships, business, career, creative project, spiritual journey, education. And just take a moment to plant the seed of what's possible in your heart. Visualizing and becoming aware of this future reality as you pat down the soil around the seed, add the fertilizer and water. Just imagine with each water droplet landing on that seed, each baby step being taken. What is possible? And just imagine the seed growing into a beautiful, luscious garden. Imagine yourself tending to it every day, watering it, checking for weeds, fertilizing the soil, protecting it from the elements, maybe giving your plant positive affirmations. Take a look at this garden and see what you've created with your consistent, loving, tender care. And notice how it feels in your body to witness and be in this garden. Notice the sensations. Notice the emotions that are coming up for you. Do you feel happy, in love, peaceful, confident, excited, and free? And when you're ready to come out of this meditation, just remember that the seed that you planted in your heart will continue to be there for you to water, for you to tend to. You begin to just deepen your breath. Maybe wiggling your fingertips and your toes, shaking your head yes and no. And then you can eventually blink your eyes open and come back to our call.